When I think about what changes to behavior people can make, an idea I think of is that we would have alternatives to corporations. So if you look at the list of corporations, you look and say, okay, what's the alternative to this one? What's the alternative to that one? So when there are businesses that aren't corporations, or they aren't large corporations, when they are sole proprietorships or partnerships, when they're member-owned co-ops, when they're LLCs with their local businesses, and people could choose a local small business or a family-owned business or a sole proprietorship, an independent contractor instead of a corporation, then we can help fix the wealth inequality. So when there is an alternative to a corporation, do people know that there is an alternative? What do you do if there is no alternative to a large corporation for a particular product or service? Can we live without that product or service? What if people don't like the alternative product or service? What if people prefer the corporate product, the corporate service? What if people can't afford the alternative product or service? Many people, for instance, cite the cost of food, the cost of healthy food, the cost of organic food as being significantly more expensive than the ultra-processed food or fast food or high calorie intensive food that's cheap. And if people only have $1, if people only have $5 for food, that they'll choose foods that have more calories in them to meet their minimum amount of calories per day. So, how do we find alternatives to corporations? How do we create alternatives to corporations? How do those alternatives have the products and services people prefer? How do people afford the alternative products and services? How do we convince people of the need to choose alternatives to large corporations? How do we convince people to cooperate with each other to create the alternatives? How do we promote the alternatives to large corporations? Just a few thoughts here at the beginning of the day. This is City Ideas TV.